Hi everybody, my name's Beth. I'm going to guide you through your Vinyasa flow today. We're going to do a heart opening sequence. So we're going to open our front body, engage our back body, and hopefully reverse the effects of sitting. As we go through our practice, remember to take breaks when you need it and intensify any pose if you would like at any time. So make this practice your own. I really won't be cueing with blocks very much, but you might want a couple blocks or something like a block nearby when we come to standing splits later on in practice. All right, let's just start in a seated position here, a comfortable seat. I suggest Sukhasana with legs crossed in front. You can also be in Virasana, where you sit on your heels and your shins are down on the mat. Both options are great. And then if you need to, you can grab a block, a pillow, or a blanket and put it underneath your sit bones. And if that will help you to relax in whatever position you choose to start in. Find the position that works for you and then make any movements you need just so you can settle into that pose. Wherever you are, make sure your spine is long, crown of your head is reaching up towards the ceiling, and your sit bones are anchoring into the mat. You can have your hands either on your thighs, up or down, or resting in your lap here. You're welcome to close your eyes or have a soft gaze down in front of you. Notice what's going on in your body once you get into this position. Notice your mental state right now. Without adding any labels or judgments, just noticing how you're arriving on your mat. Notice your emotional state, if you have any emotions arising at this time. And then without manipulating anything, just notice your breath. Notice your natural state of breathing in this moment. Observe if your belly is moving, if your chest is moving, or if both are moving. And then when you're ready, start to lengthen your inhales and really draw out your exhales. Creating a little bit more control of your breath. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you're welcome to do so now. It may be something you want to focus on during your practice, maybe something you want to cultivate, or you can always go with why you're here on your mat. As you focus on your intention, watch your breath come in and out of your body and feel the intention flow with your breath throughout your whole body. Notice if you can sit up taller, maybe squeezing shoulder blades, lifting the crown of your head up. Notice the expansion of your ribs as your lungs fill with air. And the release of your lungs as your breath is released. Four more breaths right here. Recommitting to the length in your spine. Coming back to your breath if you've lost that connection. One more breath here. And then if your eyes are closed at the bottom of your exhale, blink your eyes open. Bring your hands by your sides. Inhale, reach your fingertips out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach out and up. This time, keep your arms overhead and then gently reach your right arm up a little higher, bringing your shoulder towards your ear and then gently releasing it down. Next, inhale, reach left arm up, bringing shoulder to your ear and gently releasing on your exhale. We'll do 2 more each side. Inhale, right side. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Last round here. Inhale, right arm reaches. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm. And exhale, release, bringing hands down by your sides. And then from here, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and then actively suppress your shoulder blades down your back. Notice how your neck gets a little longer. You can reach the crown of your head up a little higher and then bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Feeling the stretch on the right side of your neck. And then bring your chin down to the middle of your chest and rotate your head over so the right ear is now coming towards the right shoulder. Stretch on the left side. Chin down towards center of chest. Left ear over towards left shoulder. Keeping shoulders suppressed down towards the mat. Chin down. Right ear over to the right. And then chin down to center. Hold here, and then lift head up through center. All right, let's come onto our backs. Let's get into our core a little bit. Start to warm up our spine. Warm up our hip flexors, which we're gonna open a little bit later. So coming onto your back, we're gonna do some bicycle crunches here. Hands behind your head, elbows out wide. Bring your knees in tabletop position. At any time, you can always keep one foot on the mat and then lift the other if you wanna modify here. So from here, you're gonna exhale, lift your chest and chin towards the ceiling. Bring left elbow to right knee as you extend left leg long. And then come back to center. Next, exhale, lift right elbow to left knee as you extend right leg. Back to center. Switch sides, left elbow, right knee, extend left leg, back to center. Nice and slow. Exhale, right elbow, left knee, and back to center. Follow the rhythm of your breath, going side to side, using your exhales as you crunch in. So you're using your breath to get a little extra crunch into your abs. We're moving slow here, so we really are not using momentum. We're using our muscles to get this movement. 4 more, 2 more on each side. When you extend your leg, flex your foot, so you extend through your heel. 2 more. And last one. Bring your knees into your chest. We're gonna revisit those crunches here, the bicycle crunches, which is gonna give our abs a little break here. And then bring your knees back into tabletop. Lift your shoulders, arms by your sides, flex your feet here, and then clasp your hands with a steeple grip, meaning your index and thumb are sticking out. You're going to extend left leg as you bring your arms over to the right, and then switch back to center, arms over to the left as you extend right leg, and back to center. Follow your rhythm of breath using your exhales as you lift and rotate. 4 more. Remember, you can always put your foot down onto the mat instead of extending your leg out. Last 2. And then we're gonna come right back over to the right, extend left leg, and pulse here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Arms over to the left, extend right leg, left knee comes in and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Knees into your chest, relax here. Catch your breath. If you'd like a long stretch, may feel good, extending your legs and your arms in opposite directions. And then when you're ready, hands behind your thighs, rock and roll here. Maybe like 3 to 5 rocks and rolls. A great way to feel into your spine, engage through your core. And we're gonna make our way to tabletop position. So when you're ready to, you're gonna get enough momentum coming up to seated, plant your hands down, step your knees back. Cat-cows, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. We're gonna pause here, feel the stretch through your core that we just worked. Bring your shoulder blades down your back. Next, exhale, round your spine, look in at your navel. Hold here, spread your shoulder blades away from one another. Next, inhale, drop belly, lift gaze, breath to movement. And exhale, we round. One more just like this. Inhale, drop belly, lift tailbone up. Maybe you look up. Exhale, round in. Look in at your navel, tuck tailbone in. Find a neutral spine. Walk your hands forward a little bit, knees back, and then we'll find plank position. Lift your knees up or keep them down. 2 breaths here. Push into your hands, lift your chest away from the mat, and then pull your chest forward. Look forward in front of your mat. Lift your kneecaps up towards the ceiling. One more breath. Inhale. And then on your exhale, hinge forward, lower down all the way down to the mat. Coming into cobra, untuck your toes, push the tops of your feet into the mat. Make sure your pinky toes are pushing down into the mat to protect your lower back. And then inhale, lift your chest, lift your hands off the mat and squeeze your shoulder blades towards one another. Breathe here. One more breath. And then at the base of this exhale, you're gonna lower down to the mat. We have 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift chest, lift arms, squeeze shoulder blades. Exhale here. Next inhale, we hold the position. And start to exhale. When you come to the base of the exhale, we lower. One more, just like that. Getting into our back body already. Inhale, lift. Hold, exhale. Hold position, inhale. Maybe lift your chest a little higher. Squeeze shoulder blades here. Start to exhale. And then lower down to the mat. Tuck your toes under, make your way to downward facing dog. So you can come up through tabletop or through plank, doesn't matter. Spread your fingers wide. Bring your feet about hip distance apart or a little bit wider. Heels rotate out just a little bit away from one another so they're tracking with your second toe. And then from here, maybe bend into one knee and then the other. You're also welcome to keep your legs as they are and just sway your hips side to side. That's a good way to get into your hips, feel into your calves a little bit. Or any other position that sounds good. We have 2 more breaths. Remember, this pose is all about the length in your spine rather than how straight your legs are or how close your heels get to the mat. The lower half of our body is not as important in this position. However, we do want to put weight into our legs. So we're pushing into our hands so our hips go back so we can have some weight into our legs. One more breath. Inhale. Slow exhale. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, baby steps to the front of the mat. From the top of your mat, inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold it in. Root down into your feet, rise up to standing. A generous bend in your knees may feel good. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Lift your chest as you bring your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, fingertips lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, step back or jump back to plank pose. Hinging forward, knees up or down, lower down halfway or all the way down to the mat. Inhale into your back bend of choice, baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. Exhale, roll over your toes, hips up and away, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. You can continue to make some movements or find stillness if you're ready for that. Let your head hang heavy. Notice if your shoulders are by your ears, like that exercise we did earlier. If you can, bring your shoulder blades down your back and then rotate your biceps forward to create space between your ears and your biceps. 1 more breath here. Next, inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step, hop, or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Root down into your feet, rise up to standing, coming to Tadasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. 1 more round of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, fingertips lift. Maybe you look up so your hands touch. Exhale, forward fold, bending from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, extend the crown of your head forward, tailbone back. Exhale, plant your hands, make your way to plank. Hinge forward, lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale into your back bend. Fill your lungs with air as you hold the pose. Exhale, hips up and away, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Notice if your breath has become a little bit quick, slow it down if you can, finding that breath control. Last breath here. Next, inhale, look forward where you want your feet to go. Exhale, bend your knees, make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold it in. Root down into your feet, rise up to standing, arms sweep wide and high. And exhale, hands to your heart. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, fingertips lift. Exhale, sit back into your chair. So anchoring into your heels, feet can be together or a little bit wider, hip distance apart. And then again, sit back into your heels and then push into the base of your big toes. You'll feel a lot more engagement through your inner thighs. And then notice if your tailbone is sticking back, bring your navel to your spine. You'll notice a little bit more length in your lower back. 1 more breath here. Inhale, maybe sit a little deeper. Hold, exhale. And at the base of your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, make your way to downward dog. Flowing through a vinyasa or skipping the vinyasa. You can also hold a plank pose and then go to downward dog if you want to get something else besides just straight to downward dog, but don't want to do the vinyasa. From downward dog, inhale, right leg up and back, flex your foot, extend through your heel. Exhale, bring your right knee to your chest, hinge forward, step your foot between your hands, rotate your back foot down 45 degrees, setting up for warrior 1, rising up when you're ready. Looking for a heel to heel alignment or a little bit wider if you need that today. Back leg is active and engaged. There's a tendency for our back knee to be bent. Really push your kneecap, your back kneecap back towards the back of the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, hands behind your back, clasp your hands. Inhale, broaden across your chest, hands go down your back leg, and we're just opening our chest here. Extend the crown of your head up as your shoulder blades come down your back. Squeeze your hips in towards one another. Back leg is active and engaged. Inhale. Hold, exhale. Gently release your hands. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Make your way to downward dog. Flowing through vinyasa, maybe Ekapada Chaturanga with one leg lifted, right leg on this side. Inhale into your back bend if you're doing vinyasa. And exhale, downward facing dog. Second side. Inhale, left leg up and back. Flex through your foot, extend through your heel. Exhale, left knee to your chest, hinge forward, step your foot between your hands. Rotate back foot down 45. I kind of like to step my foot up just a little bit for this one. And then inhale, arms up. Warrior one. Again, checking in with your back leg. If it's your back knee is bent, really straighten that leg. Bend into your front knee. Next, exhale, hands come behind your back, clasp your hands. Inhale, broaden across your chest as your hands go down your back leg. Recommit to the bend in the front knee. Inhale. Hold, exhale. Gently release your hands. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Make your way to downward dog. Left leg lifts if you're doing Ekapada Chaturanga Dandasana on this side. Finding downward dog, we're going to hold for 3 breaths. Notice if your breath has gotten a little quick, slowing it down if you can. Always recommitting to our breath. One more breath here. Next, inhale, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, make your way to the top of the mat. You can step, hop, or walk. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Squeeze shoulder blades towards one another. Exhale, fold in. Sit back like you're sitting into a chair. Tap your fingertips down onto the mat. Keep your knees bent, arms reach up, chair pose. Try to keep that depth into your seat here. I'll get it. Lift your chest a little higher, navel to spine. Next, inhale, we rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. We're going to get into our shoulders here. Bring your right elbow down to the mat and then left elbow down to the mat. You can keep your hands in the shape of an 11, so your hands are just coming straight out from your elbows, or you can clasp your hands here. I personally like to clasp my hands, but find what works best for you. Engage through your core, lift your kneecaps up towards the ceiling, and then push into your elbows and lift your chest away from the mat. Hold this engagement, walk your feet forward for dolphin pose. So hips are high, just like downward dog, but we're on our elbows. Recommit to lifting your chest away from the mat, and then walk your feet back, forearm plank. And then we're gonna let our chest drop towards the mat, and then push into your elbows, lift your chest back up. You'll feel your shoulder blades move away from one another. Next, exhale, walk your feet forward, dolphin pose. Gain into our shoulders and our core here. Let your heels drape down towards the mat. They won't touch down, but we're getting that stretch in the back of our legs. Walk back, forearm plank. Again, let your chest drop down. Push into your elbows, lift your chest up. Hold here, one more breath. Then we're going to make our way to downward dog. You're welcome to push into one hand and then the other coming back up to plank and then downward dog. If you want to try a little challenge, you can have your hands in the shape of an 11. You're going to bend your knees here. Let's see if I can demonstrate. Bend your knees here, push into your hands, and then come forward into a chaturanga. Lift up to plank and then downward facing dog. Just a little challenge if you want to take it. Totally optional. From downward dog, inhale, right leg up and back behind you. Exhale, right knee to your chest, hinge forward, step your foot between your hands. Stay on the ball of your back foot, and then inhale, we rise, crescent lunge. Keeping your hips squeezing in towards one another, back knee can be bent. Inhale here. Exhale, fold over your front leg, arms come back by your sides. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, airplane arms, fold forward, squeeze hips in towards one another. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, airplane here. Now we're coming to warrior three, all weight into right leg. Lift left leg up and back behind you. You're welcome to have several steps forward to get to this position. Make sure your left hip is parallel to the right. It's going to want to lift up towards the ceiling. Flex your left leg, extend through your heel. Breathe here. We have one more breath. Extend your spine long. Push into the base of your right big toe. Next, exhale, bend into your right leg, step back, crescent lunge. Whew. And then exhale, hands down to the mat. Make your way to downward dog. Vinyasa or not. You can also do a cat-cow here. Find the child's pose for a moment. So we are doing this movement, this sequence to get into our glutes. So if you're feeling the burn in the right leg on that one, that was good. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee to your chest, hinge forward, step it through. Bend into your back knee, squeeze hips in towards one another. Rise, crescent lunge when you're ready. Noticing if your left hip is sticking out to the left, squeeze it in towards the right. Inhale here. Exhale, fold over your left leg, arms come back by your sides. Inhale, reach up, crescent. Exhale, airplane, fold down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Hold here, all way into left leg. Lift right leg up for warrior three. Flex your right foot. Bring your right hip down in line with your left. Push into the base of your left big toe. Extend your spine long. One more breath. At the base of your exhale, bend into your left leg, step back, crescent lunge, inhale. And exhale, hands come down to the mat, make your way to downward facing dog. Flowing through Vinyasa or skipping it. Knowing you have lots of options, it doesn't have to be a traditional Vinyasa. You can always just hold plank or do some cat-cows. Now slide forward into plank. We're going to get into our lower back a little bit. We're going to do a twisted plank. Bring your feet together at the back of the mat. Your hands and upper body are going to stay just as they are. You're just going to rotate to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. So your lower half of your body is in side plank. The upper body is in plank. Lift your hips up. You'll feel your lower back engage. That's good. We're working it here. Come back to neutral. And then over to the right. Remember, upper body stays just as it is. We're just in side plank on the right side in our lower body. Breathe. Back to neutral. And then hips up and away, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee to your chest, hinge forward, step it through, crescent lunge once again. Squeezing hips towards one another, arms are up. Breathing here. Now you're going to take your left hand, place it to your upper back, grab your left elbow, pull it over to the right. So squeeze hips together, find your foundation first, finding the stretch on the left side. Gently release, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, right arm back, left arm forward, twisting towards our front leg. Then you're going to take your right hand to your lower back and lift left arm up towards the ceiling for exalted warrior. So if you don't want to keep your hand on your hip, you can bring it down your back leg. It's a little bit more intense if that's what you're feeling today. You don't have to do it. And then come back to open arm twist, arms out to a T. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hinge over your front leg, warrior three, all the way into right leg, lift left leg behind you. Wow. Find your balance, squeeze your hips in towards one another. Breathe, 2 more breaths. Your breath will help you to find comfort within discomfort. Last breath here. At the base of your exhale, hands come down to the mat. Standing splits, keeping your left leg lifted here. Hands down to the mat or to blocks. You're welcome to hold here or do 3 Shiva squats with me if you want to do Shiva squats. You're going to inhale. And then exhale, bend into your right leg as you bring your left knee to the outside of your right calf. Inhale, back to standing splits. Exhale, tap it down. Inhale, extend, last one. Exhale, lower. Inhale, extend. And then exhale, everybody bring left foot down to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, make your way to downward dog. Step back, jump back. If you want to do a crow pose there, you're welcome to do so as well. Making this your practice. Knowing that your vinyasas can be lowering all the way down to the mat, doing a cobra pose too. Doesn't always have to be the full expression. Second side, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, left knee to your chest, hinge forward, step your foot between your hands. Crescent lunge, rise up when you're ready. You know where we're headed. Take your right hand to your upper back, grab your right elbow, pull it over to the left. Squeeze hips in, find that foundation before you find the stretch on the right side. Connect to your breath. Gently release, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward, twisting towards our left leg here. Left hand to left hip, and then inhale, lift right arm up. If you took the full variation on the other side, start to walk your left hand down your right leg for the full expression of exalted warrior. Find that open arm twist, arms out to a T. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane your arms, warrior three, lift right leg behind you. You are stronger than your mind is telling you right now. Recommit to your practice. Come back to that intention. Really engage through your right leg, flex your foot. One more breath, inhale. And on your exhale, bring your hands down to the mat, keeping right leg lifted. Holding standing splits. Or if you want to follow me, 3 Shiva squats. Inhale. Exhale, right knee to the outside of left calf. Inhale, standing splits. Flex your right leg. Exhale, bend it down. Follow your breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This is the last one. Inhale, lift. And then everybody exhale, right foot comes down to the mat. Yay! Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it in. Bring your feet hip distance apart. I'm going to rotate towards the camera. Feet hip distance apart. Take your peace fingers. Place them around your big toes if you have that option. If not, you can grab onto your ankles as well if that's the only thing you can grab right now. Inhale, halfway lift here, spine is long. And then exhale, start to hinge forward, pulling yourself down towards your down towards your feet, and then elbows go out to the side. You can have a really big bend in your knees here, or a gentle bend, or straight legs, doesn't matter. Just don't hyperextend. Allow your head to hang heavy. Bring your shoulder blades up your back towards your hips. Connect to your breath. Take your inner thighs, rotate them back behind you. You'll find your sit bones will spread away from one another, and then maybe you can get into the fold a little deeper. 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and release the grip of your toes. Plant your hands down, step back to plank, make your way to downward facing dog. So you're welcome to flow through a vinyasa or completely skip it if you'd like. We're going to come off our legs here and come down to our mat in just a moment. From downward dog, hinge forward into plank. And then on your exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Coming to Shalabhasana. So you're going to bring your hands back by your sides, palms face down, or clasp your hands behind your back. That's the option I'm going to demonstrate, but no, you can have your hands by your sides here. From here, push the tops of your feet into the mat, especially your pinky toes, and then inhale, lift your chest, extend your arms back, whether they're clasped or not. If you'd like, lift your legs up behind you, extending your toes back. Slight tuck of your chin, keeping your neck nice and long. Find your breath.
Engage your core. Notice when if you engage your core, how your chest lifts a little bit more. One more breath. At the base of that exhale, release. Bring your left forearm onto the mat. And then you can actually rotate it so it's parallel to the front of the mat or straight forward. Find which one works for you as we get into this position. And then from here, you're gonna bend your right knee and then grab your right foot. We're looking for the stretch here in the shoulder and in our quad. So then now you can lower down to the mat. Forearm can either stay on the mat or I'll give you an option in a second. So kick into your right hand and notice how you start to lift into your chest. From there, you're going to either keep your left hand as it is or extend your left arm long, and then inhale, lift left leg and left arm while you continue to kick into your right hand. Breathe here. You'll feel your quad engage quite a bit. That's what we're looking for. Connect to your breath, shoulder blades down your back. Neck is long. Last breath here. And then gently releasing down. And gently release right foot down to the mat. Right arm comes down to the mat. Remember, you can have it parallel to the front of the mat or forward. It's really whatever works best for you. Bend left knee, grab left foot. And then from here, start to kick into left hand, feeling your chest lift. If you would like to take the full variation, lift right arm and right arm and right leg off the mat. Slight tuck of your chin. Feeling that quad completely engaged. Really push your foot into your hand, getting the stretch in the front of your chest. One more breath. And gently releasing here. All right, we're gonna do the full version. And so you can either do Shalabhasana like we did before where you lift up or hands are clasped, or you can follow me in this version. Both knees bend. You're gonna grab your feet with your hands. And just like we did on each side, you're gonna kick into your hands, lift your chest, or kicking your hands will lift your chest, and then finding the full variation here. Really engage through your core to help protect your lower back. Remember, Shalabhasana is an option as well. Breathing here. Feel the stretch across your chest. One more breath. And then gently releasing down. Bring your hands on top of one another. Maybe your forehead comes to the back of one of your hands, and then windshield wiper your knees here, releasing any tension in your lower back. Connecting to your breath. Floor bow, that pose we just did, can increase the rate of your breath. So just notice if you can decrease by actively slowing down your inhales and exhales. And then release legs down to the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders. Come up onto your knees. Camel pose. So just like that pose we did on the mat where we grabbed the backs of our feet and we opened our chest, this pose is going to be very similar. So if you have a block or something like a block, you're welcome to place it between your thighs. Not necessary or not, it's not mandatory is what I should say, but that could help you to keep the engagement through your inner thighs. You can also put like a pillow or blanket, a rolled up blanket between your thighs as well. So tuck your toes under so your heels are a little bit higher. Hands are going to come to your lower back. So either fingertips go out to the side, fingertips go down or up. It doesn't matter. There's really a preference as to what feels best for you. And then from here, you're going to start to push your hips forward, engage through your glutes, squeeze the block or squeeze thighs towards one another, and start to lift chest towards the ceiling, elbows towards one another. Feel the stretch in the front of the chest. You're welcome to stay right here, really listen to your lower back as to what would be best for you. So you either stay right here or you start to lean back as you push your hips forward and grab onto one
heel, maybe the other heel, if that's an option. It's not going to be an option for everybody, and that's okay. So then if whatever position you're in, you can keep your chin towards your chest or drop your chin back. Just know if you tend to get low blood pressure, that doesn't sound right. Dropping your head back can cause you to get a little lightheaded. So just be careful with what you do there. One more breath. Push your hips forward, squeeze your block if you have it. And then to come out, gently release one hand to your lower back, other hand to your lower back, head is last to lift. And then just sit back towards your heels, untuck your toes. If you have the block between your thighs, remove it. Just allow yourself to just sit right here for a moment. Sit up tall, shoulder blades down your back. Just notice what's arising in your body. Notice your breath, noticing the rate and the quality of your breath here. So back bends can bring up a lot of emotions. It can bring up a lot of energy. It can be uncomfortable. So just notice how your body is responding to that camel pose. Stay in Virasana, hero's pose, just where we are, as long as you'd like. And when you're ready, make your way to tabletop. Hands come down to the mat, knees are hip distance apart, and do some cat-cows. Drop belly, lift gaze. And then the one that's going to feel really good after all of that, to come into cat pose. Round your spine, tuck your tailbone in. Flow in here, drop belly, lift gaze. And exhale, rounding through your spine. One more just like that. Finding a neutral spine. Bring your legs to one side, hips to another. We're coming to a seated position on our mat. So we're going to re-engage our back body. We're going to do a reverse tabletop. Now, reverse tabletop can put a lot of pressure in your wrist, can really put a lot of pressure into your shoulders, or it takes a lot of shoulder flexibility. So if this is not in your practice, bridge pose is going to be their option, where you lay onto your back and lift hips here. Okay? Or follow me, reverse tabletop. Fingertips towards your hips, about a foot away from your hips, and then feet are set up just like bridge. From here, push into your heels, push into the base of your hands, and then lift your hips up. Really squeeze your glutes, engage your lower back, and then maybe drop your head back, or keep your chin to your chest. Breathing here, we have 2 more breaths. Lift your hips a little higher, last breath. And then slowly lowering down to the mat. Come onto your back. We're going to do a bridge pose here. If you're already on your back, just stay there. Hands by your sides, push into your heels, lift your hips off the mat. So we're re-engaging our back body, because sometimes when we go into back bends, we're not actually engaging that part of our body. So we just want to make sure that we just get that engagement in our lower back. Next exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. We're coming to shoulder stand. So if you don't want to do shoulder stand, there's some options. You can lay on your back, lift your legs towards the ceiling, and just hold here, or sometimes I like to clasp my hands around my thighs for a little bit more support, so I get the inversion without having to work. You can also take a block, if you have one, or a pillow or a blanket, and lay it underneath your hips, and then lift legs up. And then the full version of shoulder stand, you're going to get some momentum, so your knees come into your chest and you can lift your hips up, and then put your hands onto your hips and extend legs up towards the ceiling. So the goal is to have your ankles over your hips. However, at first your feet might be a little bit over your head, and that's okay. Make sure all your weight's in your shoulder blades and not in your neck. Breathing here. You're welcome to stay in shoulder stand. However, if you like to come to plow pose, you're going to keep everything just as it is. Keep your legs straight and start to lower your legs over your body. or over your head, I should say. And then maybe toes touch down behind you, maybe not. Only do that if it feels okay in your lower back. One more breath wherever you are. And if you're in plow, go ahead and make your way back on to your back. If you're in shoulder stand, start to lower your legs down. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze, rocking side to side. And then my suggestion is happy baby. If there's another pose you prefer, please do that. Happy baby, you're gonna bring your knees towards your armpits, feet towards the ceiling, grabbing onto your ankles, to your feet. Sometimes you can put your peace fingers around your big toes and pull down that way. It's an option. And then from here, straighten one leg, maybe straighten the other, or just stay in happy baby. So with happy baby, the goal is to have your tailbone on the mat. Most of us will not have that right away, but that is what our goal is and what we're working towards. If there's a pose your body needs to relax in Shavasana, please do that now. And when you're ready, knees into your chest. Give yourself a final squeeze here. And then making your way to your Shavasana. Legs long on the mat, arms long by your sides for traditional Shavasana. Maybe you want feet together, knees out wide for a little hip opener. Or feet flat on the mat, knees touching. You can also come to seated or child's pose. I'm going to come to seated, but you find your position that works best for you. Our Shavasana is going to be about 5 minutes. I'm going to put my mic on mute, so there will be no audio with the video, but the video will continue to play, and I'll guide you out in about 5 minutes. All right, once you find your position, deep breath in. Pause your breath at the top. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh it out. One more like that. Inhale. Pause your breath. Open your mouth, exhale. Release into your Shavasana.
Make your next breath a little deeper. Feeling your lungs expand. Start to make small movements in through your fingers and toes. Making larger movements into your wrists and your ankles. When you're ready, reaching arms overhead, legs long below you, stretching your body in opposite directions like you're just waking up for the first time today. Holding the stretch as long as you'd like and making your way to the fetal position on either side when you're ready. Once on your side, use your bottom arm as a pillow for your head. And just do a mental scan of your body, noticing what's going on now compared to the beginning of class. Checking in mentally, physically, emotionally. Take a moment to show gratitude towards yourself for moving today and making it to your mat, giving back to yourself, loving yourself. You're welcome to stay on your side as long as you'd like, and then when you're ready, making your way to a seated position, using your top arm to push your torso up into a seated position. Whatever seated position that feels good right now would be great. Once seated, feel your sit bones on the ground, sit up tall, feel the crown of your head reaching towards the ceiling as your sit bones ground down into your mat. Bring your hands to your heart, gently pressing your thumbs into your sternum, maybe feeling your heart beating in your chest. Bowing your chin towards your chest in gratitude of this practice. Deep breath in. Open your mouth, breath out. Let's do one awakening breath together. Inhale. Pause your breath at the top and take in more air. Pause here. Pierce your lips, sip in air through your mouth. Pause. Feel your shoulder blades down your back. And open your mouth side out. Let it go. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice. It is such an honor. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you next time. Bye.